I don't know why,
but it keeps coming back to me.
Where's dream? Every time I get frustrated.
It comes back to me.
It's the funeral.
My grandfather's.
We were all at the cemetery.
All my folks. My wife, my kids.
My brothers, sisters,
My cousins and their kids.
There were so many people that I couldn't even say for sure who was a relative and who wasn't.
You see, my folks started drifting apart when they got married, one after the other.
Grandfather was very cross at first.
About the breaking up of the extended family.
Why I keep coming back to me?
Why keeps coming back to me? You see, there were so many rooms in our old house. It could accommodate at least 50 people.
But when he died, it was only my family still living there. And the two old servants who have been with him from more than 50 years ago.
Yeah, the funeral.
You see, the coffin was too big. It was so big we have to hire 16 coolies to carry it from the funeral coach down to the grave.
But the problem was not so much the weight. Although, it was very heavy alright. It was so damn heavy that the 16 of them almost dropped it to the ground when they got it off the coach.
And we men from the family had to rush over to save it. You don't want the coffin to crash down. I'm sure you understand that. What if the thing gets busted open?
Right there, in front of all the people!
There were at least 200 of them there.
I don't know who most of them were, but I just had this feeling they didn't really belong to the family. I had a feeling that we were being watched. I don't know why, but looking back, I still feel that way. Being watched.
Anyway, we saved the coffin from crashing down and prevented the possibility of it getting busted open. Then, the lot of us carried the damn thing back to the grave.
As we carried, we were cursing inside. Why grandfather had to get such a heavy, solid thing, and why the damn coolies were not strong enough to bear it.
No wonder, most of them were opium addicts and just out there to make a fast buck when the coffin needed carrying. I'm sure they didn't know that this was going to be a real heavy thing. But we were feeling proud too. I did anyways. I mean, how many people had a grandfather who enjoyed the honor of being buried in such a rare, refined,
Solid.
Polished.
Grand
And heavy coffin.
I'm sure many had got the news about the specialness of the coffin and went to see just that.
Yeah, I remember. Some of them were even carrying cameras.
Yeah, come and think of it. I remember they were clicking away, they were rebutting our lips, trying to keep the damn thing off the ground.
But, as I said, the problem was not so much the weight. It was the size. It was big. Unusually big.
We knew that all along, but we never knew it was so big that it wouldn't fit to the hole.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Can you imagine the coffin of your grandfather?
Cannot get into the hole, specially dug for him.
On the day of his funeral.
And in front of 200 people.
We were speechless. We were literally stunned. We just stood there and looked at each other. Nobody said a word. It must have been the funniest thing that had ever happened in the entire funeral history of mankind.
We invested so much of time and money, energy and emotions into a grand funeral that 200 people had come to see. And what happened?
the coffin won't get into the hole because the hole was too small.
Oh, the coffin was too big.
Anyway, it didn't fit. They didn't fit. So we stood there. We looked at the coffin, we looked at the hole, we looked at each other. All the crying suddenly stopped.
But no one dared to laugh. Mind you, if you were a member of the family, how can you laugh? I mean, if this is your father, your grandfather, or your granduncle getting buried, and his coffin won't fit into the grave, what do you do about it?
You take him out and dump into the hole without the coffin?
You bring the coffin back with the body and go bury it in some other cemetery?
Or do you come back another day when the hole is made bigger?
You see, it's serious.
You can't laugh!
You just can't.
I felt more like crying.
You see, I'm the eldest grandson, and I was in charge there.
Since my father and his brother had all gone before my grandfather,
You see, I was the head of the family.
How can I cry?
I had to do something.
So I called over the funeral parliament in charge.
And I said to him, "Hey, how come the hole is so small?" I said.
No, sir. The hole isn't too small.
The coffin is too big.
My God, I was furious!
I mean, what the hell?
This was serious business, man.
My grandfather is lying in his coffin, unable to get into this grave, and this damn funeral man wants to talk relativity with me.
I mean, whether the coffin was too big or the hole was too small, what's the difference?
It didn't fit, did it? That's the problem, wasn't it?
I tell you, I was so angry I wanted to boil. But there were so many people there. Everyone was watching me, waiting for me to make the decision because I was the head of the family.
So I said quietly and politely.
Now, never mind which is too small, which is too big. The thing is, the coffin cannot go in. Tell me, why didn't you measure?
But sir, this is standard size.
He said,
We didn't know your grandfather had such a big coffin. To tell you the truth, we have never seen such a grand big coffin until this day. But I believe in my father's
Okay, forget it.
time-
I stopped him. I think he was going to tell me about how his father had managed such big coffins before his day.
"You see, he was also a new generation undertaker."
But I stopped him. I said,
Okay, forget it. Hurry up and make the hole bigger.
He fell silent and looked very surprised.
He looked at me for a moment, then at the coffin, then at the hole, and then at me again. I said,
"But sir, I'm afraid it can't be done."
I said, "What do you mean can't be done?" I said, "You mean you won't dig?"
No, sir, but I don't think the plot is wide enough if you dig so big as to fit the coffin in. The wall of the next grave might collapse if you do that. You see, sir, we have to work according to a standard size.
Alright then, get another plot. That will solve the problem, wouldn't it?
Oh, I was deft, I thought. I was able to solve a nasty problem right there on the spot, even in my deepest moment of grief, I could. But I was wrong.
I'm afraid you can't, sir, he said. You see, sir, the regulation says that one dead is allotted one plot. How can there be two graves for one coffin?
Who said anything about two graves? One man, one body, one coffin, one grave. Only double the size.
But sir, that is exactly what I mean, he said. It's not allowed, sir. You look at all these other graves at the cemetery. See? All same size. No two graves for one person. Everyone standard size, he said.
What are we going to do then? I began to feel desperate.
I know, sir, he said. Change into a smaller coffin. We have wide range of coffins. We even have big ones too, although not so big as this one, but which would fit the standard holes. We even have thick wood ones, very lasting.
Now wait!
I stopped him before he could go any further.
Can you imagine the embarrassment?
The whole of our extended family stranded at the cemetery with grandfather's coffin, protestingly sitting beside us, listening to a funeral parliament doing a promotion on his range of coffins.
Wait, I say, I've got my coffin. All I want now is an extra plot of land. Can you understand that?
But that's impossible, as I've been trying to tell you. See for yourself, sir. Rows upon rows upon rows of graves, as far as your eye can reach.
Do you see any one of them sitting on two plots? Sir, you must understand, there is no room for exceptions.
It was quite clear that this young funeral manager was at his wit's end. But was it going to be mine too?
For a moment, I thought it was, and I began to sweat.
But somehow,
At this moment of crisis,
The sight of grandfather's big coffin became a source of strength and inspiration.
As I looked at it, I felt as if the coffin was speaking to me.
Persuading me not to give it up.
Not to give up this grand old thing.
immediately my mind was made up.
And I resumed my confident self again.
Come, I said to the funeral man.
Let's go and see the officer in charge, I said, as I pulled him along to make for the car.
But before we drove off, I turned to the crowd and offered my apologies. I said, "Dear relatives and friends, ladies and gentlemen,
We apologize for the interruption in the funeral proceedings due to a technical fault.
We shall resume the service as soon as possible.
And we are sorry for any inconveniences caused.
In the meantime, the band will entertain you with a few numbers.
Now be back as soon as possible.